My goodness. Well, we've made it another year, everyone. It's Jenn from McCreath on December 31st, 2025. Quite a milestone for me today, as I have now spent half of my life in one century and the other half in another century. And as we look at the clock, it is 3:12 on the nose p.m. here in St. John's, Newfoundland and Labrador. Which means exactly this moment, 52 years ago, I made my debut. How about that? It's also a very interesting time to look back at where I was exactly half of my life ago on December 31st, 1999. What a time that was. Y2K, what's gonna happen? All these clocks and computers, they're not going to know what to do when we go from 1999 to 2000. It's going to shut down the planet. That's what they told us. And everyone was worried and concerned and paranoid, and companies came up with contingency plans. You could even buy so-called Y2K proof software. I think it was all one big scam. But it did keep a lot of people home on New Year's because they were so worried that the power was going to get shut off. We're going to have to find a way to keep our food in the fridge cold. Well, you can put it outside in the snow if you live up here in Canada. And a lot of rock bands thought they would cash in on the New Year's Eve celebrations and book these lavish, expensive concerts. And a lot of them were not well attended. I think I picked the best one. Have I done a video on this before? I probably have. But we shall recap. Of course, at that time, my favorite band was the Eagles. And they booked Los Angeles, and it was a little bit too far for me to travel. And ticket prices were insane. So I was actually, amazingly enough, I was in a relationship. Haven't had too many of those over the years, but I was dating someone who was a big Metallica fan, a band that I also liked as well, and Detroit, Michigan was not too far away, and that's where they were booked. Pontiac Silverdome. Wrestling fans will know that venue, as would football fans. So I made the trip across the border, Canada to the US, on the 30th. Amazingly enough, there was some sort of bomb threat at the border, so back then it was fairly easy just to go back and forth. You didn't need a passport, anything like that, but they were checking every car and every bag, and I had to drive all the way from Toronto to Philadelphia to pick up my girlfriend, and then go from Philadelphia to Detroit. I don't know why we didn't just fly. It was a long drive. It was a stupid idea because even when you're young, travel is difficult. But we made it to Detroit, Michigan, and up to Pontiac, and into the Pontiac Silverdome, where there was clearly a packed crowd. All the seats that I could see were full. I was right down there on the floor in the front row. Imagine that. But actually the mosh pit got too aggressive, so after all the opening acts had finished, we actually bailed out and moved back a little bit. But let's just say it was quite the show. 50, 60, 70,000 people. Metallica was there. A 2-hour set. They just put out their Symphony album. So they played the No Leaf Clover song, and they were in the Detroit area, so they played a Kiss tribute song, Detroit Rock City. And of course, the big joke of the night, the Y2K. I believe they had played their regular set, and I can't remember if it was in between songs or if it was an encore, but at some point they put the big clock tick down, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, boom. And they played a joke. They turned all the lights out, kept everything off for about 15 to 20 seconds. And everyone's like, oh my God, it's here. Y2K, there's no power. What are we going to do? Then all of a sudden, pyro goes off, fireworks, lights, camera action, Metallica hits the stage, and they carry on with their set. And it was just a good little way to poke fun at this whole Y2K thing. And on we went from 99 into 2000. Whew, my goodness. And here we are, 25 years later. It's amazing. Wondering, thinking ahead, oh my God, what's it going to be like 26 years later? Will I even make it there? Well, I'm here, 2025. I won't say it's been the worst year of my life, but it's definitely been the most challenging. And just so many different things have piled up on me. Things that have gone unresolved or not going well. It's just been very, very tough and difficult. And I like to appreciate the privilege I have, even though there are so many things people take for granted that I have to either work very hard for, or in some cases have accepted that will not happen for me in my life. 52 now. I've now reached the magic Gordie Howe age. We all know how much I grew up and loved the sports. Oh my God, I can't believe these guys keep playing into their 30s. When I grew up, athletes retired when they turned 30, 32, 34. So the concept of Gordie Howe really fascinated me, because here's a guy that played professional hockey up till the age of 52. I never, of course, was a pro athlete, but I did train and partake at a near elite level in both tennis and marathon running. I can appreciate now, looking back, the risks of overtraining and pushing your body so hard for so many years. Yes, feel like I'm 52 going on 82 sometimes with the problems I have specifically in my lower extremities, the knees, the lower back, even the ankles, ligaments, tendons, just about everything. Even the word arthritis has shown up into my health reports now. Interesting. My goodness. Well, I guess the one thing I really have going for me, my parents are still alive. A lot of people don't get to have parents live long lives, and it's difficult for me being way out here in Newfoundland when all of my family lives far, far away on the mainland, as they would call it here. But there's always a phone call to say hello, and through the magic of technology, not that my parents are tech savvy, but we can now turn on the cameras and talk into them and record our faces and voices and keep in touch that way. So that's one thing I must admit I don't do well. I don't keep in touch with people, and I think part of my challenge is I've had so much frustration dealing with other people, other entities, that I enjoy my downtime. So we got to work on that. But yeah, the year's been difficult. Major knee injury 3.5 years ago, and nobody in the healthcare system seems to have a solution for it. Yet nobody will actually declare that it is, quote, permanently damaged. So I'm kind of in limbo. I can barely get around, but I'm not disabled enough to collect benefits or get access to GoBus services. I even had one doctor tell me, well, you're too young. We don't usually do knee replacements on people your age. They basically implied I just have to sit here and suffer until I get a little bit older, and then maybe they will fix my knee. What kind of healthcare system do we call that? This is Canada, right? We supposedly have a great healthcare system that's the envy of the rest of the planet. I'm not sure I agree with that. I won't get into all my other challenges and problems, but let's just say I'm happy to say goodbye to 2025. Lots of good things happened in the year, lots of interesting experiences, lots of new people that I have met and are now into my life in some capacity. And I'm looking forward to 2026. Optimism, cautious optimism. It's the way you gotta be. And you can't dwell too much on your past. You can try to learn from it. I'm not perfect. I don't know if anyone else out there is. We can learn from not just mistakes, but experiences in general. The world continues to evolve in a variety of different and mysterious ways. And being on top of things, it's really amazed me. This little device that I've for many years says, no, I do not want one of these. I do not need one of these. Now it's almost impossible to live without one of these because you need one of these to do just about everything. And the app, that's another thing. This device itself, I bought a cheap, old, used phone, and it's too old. These apps won't even download on these damn things. They got you hooked. It's disgusting. It's disgraceful. We are being forced into technology and being forced to upgrade the technology on a regular basis just so we can access basic products and services. You can't park your car downtown unless you have one of these. You can't do laundry in my laundromat unless you have one of these. We are literally allowing this to control us. Somebody behind this is making money at our expense. Yes, technology is great in some ways, but it can also be painful and annoying when it is the only option available to get what used to be common, regular products and services. So I will sign off and say Happy New Year to everybody, and I hope 2026 turns out to be a good year for everyone. It's been a rough year for the world. We don't learn from our past. We continue to see war, violence, polarization. The rich get richer and the poor get poorer. Inflation, everything costs so much more. And more people can't afford the basics. And we see it everywhere. People are struggling to survive. They don't even have a place to live, let alone food. We must all do better. And governments need to stop pointing the finger at each other. Political parties, different jurisdictions. Get together and work on solutions and engage. Bring the people. Bring your stakeholders to the table. There's a lot of people that get into these boardrooms and think they have solutions to problems that they don't know anything about and don't have any first-hand experience dealing with. No. You want to know how to fix things, you're going to have to engage these very people who are struggling. I think the healthcare system and the debacle that has been my knee is a perfect example. Anyways, enough of that rambling on. I appreciate y'all watching my videos, and reach out and say hello if you want. And have a great day.